You had a long day at school or work or doing whatever it is that you do. You finally come home, you sit down, you boot up the PC, you're ready to play some Overwatch, you hop in a game, and what do you meet? Someone on your team saying, hey, fuck you guys, I'm throwing this game. Oh my god, there's nothing more demoralizing, right? You only got so much time to play in a day. There's definitely nothing more frustrating than joining a match where someone on your team doesn't give a crap, and that drops your chances of winning a significant percentage. That sucks. That is so frustrating. But there is a huge difference between someone doing that and someone, say, picking a hero that you don't like that you think doesn't give you the best possible chance at winning. And it's important that we distinguish between the two. There's the obvious cases of people throwing matches. Like last week, we took a look at a video of that super toxic player who was just, he said probably about 100 times in the matches, yo bro, you wanna throw? I'm gonna throw. That is a blatantly obvious case. Other blatantly obvious cases are people who constantly jump off of cliffs or just run into the enemy team without even shooting or doing anything, just feeding their ultimates. There are really obvious cases of people purposefully trying to ruin their match for other people. Some people do this because they're trolling or because they want to be toxic. Some people do it because they're trying to de-rank on purpose. Now, the notion of de-ranking purposefully came up on the forums a few days ago, and Jeff Kaplan talked about this. He said that they are strongly opposed to this behavior and are working on a policy to make it consistently actionable and detectable. For now, feel free to use the reporting system and choose griefing/inactivity to report this. And this is all well and good. I don't think anyone would argue with the idea that people should be punished who are throwing their matches on purpose, who are trolling and griefing and intentionally trying to lose their games. We all agree that's a problem that should be dealt with. We need to deal with it because it is a real issue. But the problem is, how do we decide and differentiate between someone who's having a bad match, a bad afternoon, not playing their best, or someone who's trying to lose the game on purpose? Compounded by the fact that there are people who will report you just because you're playing a hero that they don't like. Like, this happens. It happens all the time. Think about the number of videos you've seen where someone's playing Hanzo or Bastion or Widowmaker, and the entire premise of the video is, every time I pick this hero, the rest of my team complains to me in voice chat. Look, if someone is being toxic, if they're griefing, if they're throwing their matches on purpose, yes, those people need to be handled and dealt with, and Blizzard should try to punish them. But there are so many other variables, and if we're relying on a system where players are reporting people that they believe are griefing, it's not a perfect system. There are many flaws. Someone having a bad afternoon, that's not going to be a real issue. Yeah, you might get reported by a couple of people if you have a bad game. You might get a couple of reports here or there, but you're probably not going to amount enough reports to get you freaking banned or whatever. But my real issue with the idea of us relying on people reporting others is going to come down to hero picks that people don't like. You know, Hanzo, Bastion, Widowmaker. Those are probably the big three, right? Those are the three that just people lose their minds when you pick them in competitive. And those people get reported. Not too long ago, there was a report of a Widowmaker player getting frickin' banned just because they played Widowmaker. That was the only reason. They weren't trying to lose games on purpose. They weren't being an asshole. They weren't doing anything other than picking a hero that the collective majority of players, of people who play competitive, watch the pro scene, follow Reddit closely to try to figure out what the meta comps are and all that stuff, those people have decided Widowmaker sucks. If you pick Widowmaker, you're not playing an optimal hero to guarantee success for the team, and so we're gonna report you. Reports happen often enough, players get punished. I don't think we should live in a world where just because, you know, Reddit tells us that these heroes aren't optimal and or they're not being played by professional players is enough of a reason to warrant someone being reported and punished as a result. And the fact that it's even happened at all, it's so stupid. Think about it, man. We're playing a video game. All these heroes exist in this video game. No one should have to pay attention to the professional scene to figure out whether or not they're gonna get fucking banned or their team's gonna flip their shit at them because certain heroes aren't considered viable. Think about how silly that sounds. Step outside of our bubble for a minute and think about how absurd it sounds. Hey guys, I picked one of the 23 characters in this video game and I jumped into the rank system. Hey guys, I got banned because the rest of my team didn't like that character. Like, what? If you told that to any person outside of video games or even anyone who just doesn't play Overwatch, they'd probably laugh at you because of how ridiculous it sounds. And it really is. It really is. Now I get all the arguments that are gonna come at me. I get, Force, if you pick this hero, it's not optimal in the current meta environment to provide the best chance for your team to win the match. I fucking get it, but come on. Let's try to be sane humans for a minute and really realize that that's a bit silly. At least be willing to admit it's a bit silly. I'm not saying I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but please at least be at least be enough of a decent person to admit, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous that we take fucking meta comps this serious, that we're willing to report people and get them banned because they're picking heroes we don't fucking like. So while I understand the reasons behind it and people's frustrations with certain picks or whatever, Blizzard really needs to make sure that there's a fine distinction when it comes to what is reportable and what is actionable in terms of who they're gonna decide to ban. Because we should never have a situation where a Widowmaker main gets banned because the rest of their team doesn't like Widowmaker. It's fucking insane. Let's be real here. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for me here today. As always, I want to know what you guys think about this. How do you feel about people intentionally throwing matches? How do you feel about people picking off-meta heroes can be interpreted as throwing a match because they're not the ideal picks? I'd love to know what you guys think. Please let me know in the comment section below. All right, everybody, that is gonna do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.